This week we're back from our trip around Wales in Larry and back to the van build.
You're used to being on grinder, aren't you?
We managed to get the doors on,
I think it looks good.
the kitchen in, and almost finished the shower room.
Going for a pull up.
But things are getting really tough.
Doing our wedding now, to be honest.
If you want to follow along the build and future travels, then make sure to hit subscribe.
Back on the van build today, guys. So I'm going to knock up a bit of a list on this whiteboard to keep me on track and get cracking through these jobs. First job to go on the board is to run the cables for the B2B. So I'm going to get jotting all these jobs down on the board and then we can tick them off one by one. So that's all the jobs on the board, and I think first things first, we're actually going to go to fix the floor and then run the cables for the B2B. So basically we've found out a little problem in the floor. Just here, don't know if you can hear it, but I do not want that squeak in the floor. So luckily, when I always build out a van, I never adhesive the floor down. There's no need to spray glue cushion flooring down onto the wood. So you're better off just laying it and leaving it lay down because it'll find its own level. Anyway, let's move this box out the way. It's going to house the battery on. Let's peel this back and see what's going on. It seems like it's where this joint is here. Now I thought I'd put some fixings in that, but I mustn't have screwed any fixings into it. So we'll screw that down and then hopefully that cures the creak. That has definitely cured it. Yeah, that's 100% cured it. And if you're wondering what I've used, I use these big screws, fire them in. That is a result. We fixed the floor, so we can tick that off. Now the next one is to run the cables for the B2B. Now to run the cables for the B2B, I'm going to need to take the seating out, which I've already put in. So this seating that I've already fixed into place, I'm going to have to now take out and somehow lift it out the van. But this is quite heavy because of the way I built it. But once this is removed, I can then run the cables behind the back of this, run it straight to the back, and then that's another job ticked off. That's 2 jobs ticked off in no time. So I think we're going to be onto a flyer today. Now it's a proper mess down here, but out of all these cables here, it's quite a lot of cables. The big one, red, and the black are going to be run right to the back of the van, along with this single red cable, which is the live cable from the battery. It basically tells the B2B when to turn on and start charging once the starter battery is at the right voltage.
Jordan ran the cables through the step and taped them up. Last time he completely forgot to tape them up and they kept dangling underneath the step.
So the cables are now ran underneath this step, hidden out the way, nice and easy. They're running to the back over here. Now our battery is going to be fitted on top of this. So I've just marked out our whole electrical system, which is going to be running about from there all the way across in this section. That's another job ticked off the list. So that's all done now, tick that off. Been a bit busy off camera here, so I've got the framing around this bit where we're going to be exiting if we need to jump over. So I made a little frame around there and neaten that up. Once that's set, I might have bonded it on. Just thought I'd knock up a quick shaker. Now I think the shaker looks miles better than the plane, so I'm going to stick with the shaker and I'm going to make more of them. But I just thought I'd knock one up quick just to see what it looks like. I think it looks good. Just need to coat a white paint on it and I'll be able to get the full effect then.
Jordan's been here over the past few days whilst I've been editing last week's vlog, so let's show you what he's been up to.
This is where we've got up to. I've nearly almost built the full kitchen. The worktop's down there as well. I'll lift that one in a minute so you can see it. But we've got a double opening door like this. The gas locker's going to be in there. Then we've got this drawer, so that just slides out. Nice soft closing one, and then we've got the cupboard underneath it, another one like this. So we've got the fridge in as well, and this little bit of cut out here. Last time we rough cut it with a jigsaw, it looked shocking.
It looked so bad.
Yeah, it was so bad. But this time round we've done it really nice, scribed everything in. It looks really good. I'll chuck the worktop on and show you what it's going to look like. Ugh. Look how close that is to the edge, but then look how close it is to the back edge here. Woo! Now that's a tight fit, innit? Good job I didn't get my measurements wrong there. So this is the gas hob that we had in the last van. Same van. In the last build, but we're sticking with it because they're a good hob, these.
We'll put it sideways this time.
Yeah. Fit a pan on better without it hitting the back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be good. And what's really nice is it lands right there, perfect. We can have our GoPro up here mounted, so when we're doing our cooking, can't knock it, can you?
So one thing we do need to do is cut the wood for the back doors. Now I do have a template, so I'm planning on putting a 4mm piece of timber here, the template, draw around it and jigsaw it out. So let's get on with that. So this is the template that we're going to be using. This was off the door originally, but it's a bit minging, so I'm going to cut 2 brand new pieces out of our 4mm ply. Oh god. It's actually not heavy, I'm just weak. You need to properly hold it down because the wood's only really thin. It kind of just flops over the table. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Come on, do it with me. Come on. Lovely. Oh, there's no battery. They're on charge. So today we've been using the Bluetti AC200L to charge up all our batteries. This was actually one of the power stations that we've taken with us on our 3-month adventure around Spain and France, and it's been absolutely great. As well as having a huge amount of power, I also think this is one of the better looking power stations that are on the market. Now looks clearly aren't everything, so let's take a little look at the specs. The battery has a huge 2048 watt hours, and on the front of the power station we've got 4 AC outlets. We've got 2 USB-Cs, 2 USB-As. We've got a cigarette port and a DC port. Now you can charge this power station a few ways. Since we've been back at home staying at our parents while we're doing the van renovations, we've been charging it through AC, which is just your normal household plug. You can also charge via solar by plugging it into a solar panel, AC and solar combined to get a faster charge, and through the cigarette port at the front of the van. So we usually do this on longer car journeys. You can keep track of the input and output and also the battery percentage on the LCD screen. You can also do this on the Bluetti app. We do have a discount code for Bluetti, which I'll put on the screen now, and if you do fancy grabbing yourself one, I'll pop a link down in the description of this video. So now your battery is fully charged, we can go ahead with the jigsaw. And there we have it. I think I've done one door. I just need to sand it, the sweat on my head, and then go and see if it fits. So I'm just going to sand all around the edges just to knock all the sharp edges off it. Right, let's go and see if it fits. She's a bloody minter.
So this next door on the Sprinter is slightly bigger than that side, so we have to extend the panel over that way a bit. So when we trace it, we'll trace that extra bit there and the extra bit here, and you'll be bob on.
So today is a new day, and we're hoping in this video that we can finally get the shower fully boxed off. So we've been looking at shower panels online. Now we was going to order some and they just take too long and we can't see them in person, so we're then worried if they come, we don't like them, got them out of breath. So we've decided up the village from us is like a plastics place, and they do hygiene panels. So we're just going to measure up the walls. We're thinking of having most of the walls in just white plain PVC hygiene panel, and then one feature wall as something, which we're going to go and have a little look around.
So we're going to head to Primer for the plastic. It is called hygiene panel, so it's 2.5 mil thick, so it's quite thin. And then the back one is, I think it's 10 mil thick, so it is obviously a lot thicker. But it will look nice on the back wall as a featured wall.
Yeah, they're just your usual shower panels, aren't they, for household? Yeah. Which is why we just want the one. So we headed to Primer in Rainford to get the hygiene panel. 3 of these were about £150. So now we've got the hygiene panels, we need to find something for our feature wall. So we're going to head to another like plastics place in Huyton that specialise in like bathroom panels and stuff like that. So we're going to see what styles they've got. We originally wanted like a nice concrete look, but Jordan's found like these chevron white tiles that look really nice as well, so they seem to have the most options like in the area, so we'll go and have a little nosy around.
Show me where you're crying for.
We went about 15 minutes down the road to a place called K2 Plastics. This was the only place really in the area that we could find with a good variety that was in stock. This was such a good place to come to so we could actually see the panel in person.
Quality place, that, absolute quality. So K2 Plastics, we got it from in Huyton. Is it Huyton this?
Huyton, yeah.
Huyton. But prices are bang on. The lads in there are sound.
Yeah, so this was 70 quid for the one. Looks good though, doesn't it?
It feels real, like actual tiles. Like there's a gap in between where the grout is.
Oh yeah, there is.
Good, isn't it?
Oh, nice.
So it's not like just printed on.
Yeah, and it's like matte, it's not shiny, which I like. That's going to look good as like the feature wall.
It's so good, isn't it?
Jordan loaded it into the van and then we headed home.
We need to get this panel on tonight so that we can bond it on, leave it overnight to set, because this is the curved panel. So we have to put pressure against the wall to keep it in while it sets. I'm in two minds to cut it with a circular saw or jigsaw. I know full well the circular saw is going to get a straighter cut, but I don't know if it's going to spelch the board. And I know a lot of people will say, oh yeah, flip it upside down, cut it that way, it'd be better. Yeah, but I can't see the edge. I can't see if something's going to go wrong with it. So if I commit and cut it with it upside down, I'm not 100% that it's going to kill the edge. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with this. I've put a metal bit in it, fine tooth, and just make my way up this thing here at the bottom and just see what happens. Moment of truth.
Have you got your goggles on, yeah?
Yeah.
Good lad.
Yeah, see, that's a much better cut. You see it?
Yeah, it looks
Obviously
good.
you can't see because there's still a bit of burrs on the inside, but
Yeah, plus
that,
it's going to be all sealed, like
look at that.
sealed around the edges anyway,
that's
isn't it?
bang on, that is.
Were you drunk when you cut that?
Why?
I'm not joking.
Cheeky get.
That's actually cut really nice.
We should put the other two panels in first, the two white ones.
Yeah.
Because if we slot the two in, then that backboard, if there's any discrepancies in the white, at least this I'll take it, because this is 10mm and they're 2.5mm.
So we're in two minds whether to put this inset in here. We don't know if we want it or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the panel in and then decide later on.
I just think personally, it's, I mean my mic's off 1 second, but
There we go.
basically I think that it's quite poor quality of an insert and I don't want to put it in and then it to fall to pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to do, just put the panel on for now and then decide
What's happening.
what's happening
We
with
can
it.
always just cut it out because you'd just be cutting it out with the panel anyway, wouldn't you? So,
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll decide. I don't know.
What we're going to do is basically take this panel out so we can trace around it, and then that way we've got the two panels, the two UPVC panels that can stick straight onto that and they can slot in.
I feel like every job we do, we have to take half the van out.
Do you know what's good about it though? Everything's modular, so if we ever wanted to change the layout again,
Yeah.
it's
just
nice
lift
and
stuff
easy.
out.
Everything just lifts out, nothing's like fixed permanently.
Jordan lifted out one of the panels so that we could scribe around it. This saved lifting them both out. We could use one as the scribe and then stick the plastic directly onto the other. So that's the first panel cut. Now for the second.
It's the worst stuff ever. I don't think it's worth saving the weight to cut. It's
Really?
horrible, isn't it?
It is horrible to cut.
Save the weight elsewhere and don't get bloody hygienic panel. So got some of this Maypie stuff from Screwfix, and it is basically gonna put our PVC panel onto this wall. So we just scrape it on. You get this like pad. Yeah, I'll show you. You get this pad with little spikes on it, and you basically put that on. We get that over the whole board, and then lift the panel on, stick it on, and hopefully that'll set. Oh yeah.
Look how gloopy that is.
There's some creamy goodness, mate.
Oh, eat that. Go on,
It's quite thingy in it, but quite soft. I hope it doesn't. Oh, look at that.
It looks like them, you know, in like older houses that they have on the wall. Aztecs, is it?
Aztecs.
That was
What the hell are you on about?
Architects.
Artex.
Artex.
Aztecs.
Artex on the plastered walls. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? Well, that went in well better than expected.
Didn't it?
That looks really good.
It is mint, that stuff, innit?
So next panel glued, and then we can put the back on. The next panel was much easier to do when it was actually lying flat and not stood up. And then to stick the hygiene panel down, Jordan clearly thought it was a good idea to pretend he was playing the drums. So that's that one done and getting put into place. We are on a roll.
We are. We are on a full-on sausage roll,
Thought you
aren't
were
we?
going to swear then.
No. I was just saying sausage roll. I've just got the panel whipped out now. This is it. And I'm going to cut it down. So I found the centre and I'm going to cut it down exactly in the centre so that it looks pretty equal.
Last one to be cut, and this is the main one, the one that's going to look good. Not that the others don't, but this is like the special one. That looks amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks really good, doesn't it? The only thing we need now is to put something on this to hold it in.
Oh, she's snazzy.
Don't think I can stand here all day though.
Right, go on.
So what you need to get me is the wooden board.
Yeah.
And the bed slat, and then I can prop against it. Please.
We've just put a piece of wood and then the bed slat here just to put pressure on, so we've got it like leaning against there. So then that can set and stick.
Don't worry about these corners here or anything, because that wall's actually moved that way and that wall's moved that way, because it's obviously not fixed to anything anymore.
Yeah,
so once we push them together, yeah, and get the framing in, it'll hold it perfectly.
Plus it's going to have a nice bead of silicone all around it anyway to tidy up.
Yeah.
So we let the shower walls set overnight, so they're all in, and Jordan's just put the ceiling up. So look at that, that looks amazing. Next step is fitting the door. So this is the door that we're going to be going with in the shower. It's a roll door from the door company. And last time we actually just had a wooden slatted like sliding door, which was a bit of a pain because it was wooden in a shower, which just doesn't mix well. So this is going to be really great. It kind of like screws in. Jordan will show us how to fit it in a minute. It like screws into the frame, and then this bit pulls out, and it's like a retractable self-cleaning door, which is going to be amazing. So we've got this in 1700mm tall, and then it just comes in like a preset width because you can cut it down. So we'll also be doing that.
So I'm just about to mark this now. We're going to be cutting it down to 1750. 1750. I think it's 1750.
We hope it's 1750.
We hope it's 1750 because I'm all about measure once, cut twice.
I don't think you can cut twice with this one. See, when I was reading it, I thought it was like the actual retractable thing that you cut down, but it's not, it's the frame, isn't it?
Yeah, go from the very end.
That just shows why you shouldn't trust me.
1750. I told you, I didn't even need to measure twice.
There we go. Really wanted one of these in our first build, and we just never got around to putting one in. Hence why we just put like the wooden door on, because it was a quick find in B&Q, and we're like, oh yeah, just shove that on. But this is what we've wanted for ages. Oh, I can't wait to put it in this build.
So I'm going to try and cut it down with a jigsaw, the metal bit. Not 100% sure it's a good option to use, but I'm going to use it anyway and just see how we get on.
Okay, we're switching to the grinder.
We're definitely switching to the grinder. Where is the grinder?
You're used to being on grinder, aren't you?
What's your YouTube channel?
Steps to Adventure.
Genuinely, can I get in one of your videos, please? Can't believe I've just saw someone 40,000 subscribers. Are we distracting you?
No.
Fine, don't worry.
One of my eyes must have been in Japan because that is the worst cut I've ever made in all my life. We wanted to try and make the shower without any framing to keep it as lightweight as possible, but we've realised that that side's all right because it's braced by the larder unit, but this side is a little bit weak, it's a bit flimsy. Now I want to maximise as much space as I can inside the shower, so I'm going to put a beam on the outside of the shower, face it up, because we're going to have this like crazy mad inset thing here, which is going to look sick in at least.
Yeah, that's going to look
cool.
So
you won't necessarily see that.
Yes, that doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter, but I need that to be a bit more
because it's
rigid.
bowing like inwards, isn't it?
It's bowing
and
like crazy, yeah.
With the heat as well, it's just going to bow even more.
Now, you're probably always wondering, why have we not got so far with the build? This is exactly why we've not got so far with the build. So we've got the shower door in. It looks sick. Like, looks really, really good.
Temporarily held in by Annalise.
Yeah, temporarily held in by Annalise. But it looks sick, doesn't it?
Oh, it looks amazing, it really does. But we've just been like talking here now, and we thought, we want this to like, where we look at it and be like, wow. So we've decided that we're going to have like an archway.
Yeah.
In, which means we can't finish this off tonight. We need to go to get some timber tomorrow to make this archway and then screw the door up, because we'll have to make it up to the top and have a bigger step on the bottom.
So basically we'll lift this whole shower door up to the top of the ceiling. That way we get a nice archway. We get the maximum length at the top, don't we? And then that way it'll look a lot better.
Yeah.
I think this one's tired.
I'm very tired today. It's hard work, you know, like trying to film and do a van build. Like, credit to those people that have done it and continue to do like a few builds, because it does take it out here.
It does.
It's hard work.
Everything takes a lot longer, but
yeah,
it is definitely worth it, innit?
Yeah. But I have a lot more fun travelling and making videos than building and making videos. So I cannot wait for this to be over.
And don't worry guys, you're probably thinking, oh, it looks a bit saggy, but it's actually because we've not fixed it in or anything.
Yeah, it's
when this side gets lifted, see how it goes. So
this morning we've been out to most of the timber merchants looking for some 15mm ply. We can't get it anywhere. The only place that sells it, the one that we need, is that James Latham in Leeds, and we're not going all the way back down there just for one sheet, so we're at a bit of a standstill. Again, this build is just doing our head in now, to be honest. It just feels like it's taking forever. We're not enjoying it really anymore, and it's probably not enjoyable for you guys watching anymore, but we can't magic going travelling without doing the van, so we're kind of in a bit of a catch-22. But yeah, things aren't going as quickly or as smoothly as we hoped, because you just can't get hold of anything that you need. It's always like miles away or like a long delivery, and it's just getting pretty annoying. Anyway, being in the mood ain't gonna get the job done, so let's crack on. So because we want the archway, we've had to raise the steps. So it was this width, we've gone with it like that, so it is a little bit bigger, but it just means we can have a nice arch, and then the roll door is going to sit at the top of the
Sorry.
I've just whacked you. So we're gonna get that fitted in, so at least we can do that, and then the shower's kind of done and the archway will just sit on top, so that can be done another day.
Going for a pull up.
See ya.
Right.
Hey, that might trap in the smells.
It will. So for the shower room, we've got the max fan dome. Fan. We've got the max fan dome for the shower room, and it's got the light as well, which is quite cool. So it's kind of like 2-in-1, extractor fan and a light, so we don't have to mess about. Pretty happy with that, are you?
Yeah, it looks good.
Really, really good. So let's get up there and get it fitted. Well, I'm not gonna lie guys, that was nerve-wracking. Look at the sun, it's absolutely beaming. And I've been up here and disconnected the 2 solar panels, but look at them. I literally covered them over. I've knocked it off on the breaker in there, and I thought, please do not arc, please do not arc. And they both come out all right. So let's get in doing the bolts for them and get them bloody panels off. Sorry guys, it's not a pretty sight, but the belly's had to come out. It's got hot now as well, it's really nice. I really like working in heat like this, but yeah, tops off, getting the suntan, got the belly out, the nipples out. Jobs are good in. I may or may not have just gone in the house and shaved my stomach because it was winding me up. Look at the state underneath that solar panel. It's in there. Got one solar panel off and the other one's off as well. I just need to unclip it and then drop it down to Annalise. This one has literally just come with me for a fork. I said, could you get me a bar or something to get under here and pry it? She's brought a fork. How about fork off? So yeah, I've got quite a few of these brackets to actually get off, so I'm just going to get them off first and then get the shower extractor fan in. It's going to be fun. It would land right on a rib, wouldn't it? That's so annoying. So we're going to have to get some mastic tape to build that edge up there. So that looks like it's not going to be getting done, not today anyway. So I'll order some masking tape, mastic tape, sorry, and I can build this edge up and that edge around that side, and then I can fit the skylight on, cut around the edge where the mastic tape is, and then seal all around it. So that's it for this week's video, guys. We're gutted that we didn't get as far as we wanted, but it is what it is. That's just the way the build's going. But leave I'm a legend down in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Hands are trembling right now, right now. Deep blue water sea, afraid of jumping in right now, right now.